welcome back to Score on Business. So before the break, we were talking about how you all were scanning the marketplace, and you saw an opportunity to expand your company. Tell us about the next part of it and what you actually did.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We really went where our clients were expanding and growing, and so we saw an opportunity in Jackson, Mississippi. Butler Snow is based there, and I have some very strong connections there. I grew up in Jackson, and I knew that Jackson, like Birmingham and some of these other thriving southern cities, the business is booming there, not like a Nashville, but still there's great growth, and I saw that as a great opportunity. And what I did is I took a model which is very prevalent in our industry, and is when you see that there's a green light for expansion, there's opportunity for expansion, you can do one of two things in our industry. One, you can open up an office in that city and say, hey, I'm putting my stake down, I'm putting my flag down, and I'm going to grow in that city. Or what's very common in our industry is to look at other big agencies that are working in those markets and say, hey, let's partner together, let's affiliate, and let's go after business together. And so we were fortunate enough with Deane Smith, we opened an office in Jackson because we saw the opportunity. But as we opened that office, we found Mississippi's largest ad agency that didn't have any PR discipline, crisis communications, media relations, expertise to offer their clients, so they were losing business. On the flip side of the coin, Deane Smith didn't really have a lot of video advertising expertise, and we didn't swim in those waters. So it was a perfect win-win situation. And so we affiliated with a company called Mad Genius, and you can tell by the name of the company that there are a lot of creative souls in that office. And so it really was a great partnership that allowed us to go from a shop of 10 employees and growing in Nashville to over 35 employees through our affiliation with Mad Genius. And so that gives us that diversified industry experience even more. And it spreads
costs because they focus in one area, you focus in another, and you can and the time. Tell us when companies have to get started somewhere, and in the beginning, money's very tight, and they may not be able to engage with a full service agency or anybody. What are some resources for smaller companies that are still trying to get up and running?
Yeah, sure. We live in a hectic, fast-paced digital society, and we're filled with competed messages online and off, and so it's a challenging era that we're in, but at the same time, there's tremendous opportunities, and there's ways that companies, organizations, small and large, companies that are emerging, that can tap into the branding world without having to hire an agency. Obviously, we'd love for companies, once they grow, to hire an agency because we have the expertise. But there's some things that you can do. I mean, in this digital world, now more than ever, companies can build their brand and start off doing the right things. So, for example, I'm going to say this: social, social, social. Everybody can be their own brand ambassadors by just tapping into the opportunities with social media. And it's easy as developing a Twitter account, a Facebook account, LinkedIn account, and get it started. What I also can tell you is, hey, some of the tips is develop a social media team with your organization, with your company, and say, here's our social media team. We're going to have a social media calendar. We're going to populate that calendar with posts. We're going to do it. We're going to take a strategic approach to this, and we're going to have, kind of focus groups, if you will. So some of the same tenets that you see in the agency world and with hiring an agency, social media is allowing companies that are trying to start this game of branding to do it, to start kind of dabbling in it.
No, a company is not going to have the expertise that you all have. If I need brain surgery, I'm not going to do it myself. And so you've shared some things that folks can do to get started. And then as they start taking off and are pulled in so many different directions, then they can, kind of engage with the expertise that a company like you all bring. So
and I'll add too that in addition to social media, website development, paying attention to your website. I tell people all the time that the website is the front door to your brand, and you need to pay attention to your website. Make sure that the copy and the text and the graphic development is clean and makes an impact and is inviting, and people that come and visit the site can find what they're looking for. Yeah. So those are important tips. And so social media and website, an attention to social media and website development are two keys in building a brand.
You know, I hate going to a website and then not being able to tell what they do.
It makes people upset. And it's a really good way.
Okay. Hey, we are out of time. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week. Thanks.
Thank you.